The blue sea and sky stretched out forever. I was lying on a deck chair on a luxury cruise ship, wearing sunglasses, enjoying the breeze. The semester was finally over, and this felt like heaven. In front of me, my classmates were splashing around in the pool in their swimsuits. Our class had 37 students, and I was the only guy. Even our class advisor was a young woman. And somehow, the three most popular girls in the whole school were all in my class. I glanced over at Su Qingyao, the rich, elegant one. She was sitting by the pool, her long legs dipping in the water, looking calm and beautiful. Her family had paid for this entire trip. Nearby, Chu Yufei was playing water volleyball, laughing in the sun. She was my ex-girlfriend. We broke up because she said I couldn't give her the future she wanted. That's why I almost didn't come. Seeing her again felt weird. Then there was Bai Nian, my best buddy, leaning on the railing with a juice. She grinned and raised her glass at me. She was the one who convinced me to come. All the girls are wearing swimsuits, she'd said. Are you really not coming? That was all it took. I sipped my cold cola, thinking life couldn't get better. Then, boom. A huge explosion shook the whole ship. The deck shook hard, pool water flew everywhere, and people screamed. I was thrown from my chair, hit the railing, and blacked out. When I woke up, my head was killing me. I was holding something warm and soft. I opened my eyes and saw a thick, strange forest around me. I was lying on a sandy beach. In my arms was Su Qingyao, in a swimsuit that had half come off. Her top was caught on a bush nearby, probably torn away by the waves. This was bad. If she woke up and saw this, I was dead. She started to open her eyes. I jumped up, grabbed her swimsuit, and tried to help her cover up, but she saw me first. She screamed. I froze. Wait, I didn't do anything, I said. Your swimsuit came off. I was just trying to help. She curled up, shaking. I turned around and tossed the swimsuit to her. Behind me, I heard her putting it on. I let out a breath. I looked around. All 36 girls from my class were lying on the beach, soaked and unconscious. Even our teacher, Ms. Chin Tong. There was also a woman I didn't recognize, long black hair, beautiful face, wearing a black fitted outfit instead of a swimsuit. One by one, the girls started waking up. Panic spread fast. They realized we were in some wild, unknown place, and most of them were wearing almost nothing. Some had lost their swimsuits entirely. When they noticed me, the only guy, standing there, the embarrassment hit them harder than the fear. I felt dozens of eyes on me like I was an animal in a zoo. Then a cold voice rang in all our heads. Welcome to the era of wilderness. You are among billions of survivors. From now on, your goal is to survive, grow your tribe, and face this land. Each person gets a profession. Your territory will have some basic buildings. A leader will be chosen with absolute authority and a special tribe aura. Everyone went silent. Traveling to another world? Tribes? Leaders? It sounded like something from a novel. I got it faster than the others. This was a survival scenario. Except I was the only man surrounded by over 30 scared women. The system started picking our leader. I prayed it wouldn't be me. Managing all these panicking girls sounded like a nightmare. Then the system spoke. The leader of newbie tribe number 749 is Lin Qing. Tribe aura. SSS level, growth and prosperity. Of course it was me. The system showed me my aura effects. My charm would increase by 30%, my body would get stronger, and every time I formed a family, I'd get a random reward tied to the partner's talent. The tribe's population would grow faster, pregnancy would only take 1 month, and my children would inherit special abilities. Oh, and the system helpfully noted that as the only man in the tribe, it was my duty to continue the family line. I froze. Was this system really telling me to? With my classmates? Honestly, I didn't hate the idea. 3 school beauties, and the rest of the girls were pretty too. But would they actually agree to this? Most of them had calmed down surprisingly fast. Turns out they'd all been reading fantasy novels in their dorms, so the whole, transported to another world, thing wasn't that hard for them to accept. Bai Nian came over first, looking serious. You were chosen as chief. I hope you'll take responsibility. I'll help you manage things. Several other girls chimed in to support me. Being the only guy in class, I'd always gotten along well with everyone. Then Gu Xinran, the girl with the best figure, spoke up quietly. Did anyone actually read what our special ability does? They hadn't. They'd been busy comforting Ms. Chun, who was crying because she'd just gotten her full-time teaching position before all this happened. I opened the ability panel and showed them. The beach went dead silent. Then it exploded. Have children with him? 1-month pregnancy? That's faster than animals. I'm only 20. I've never even dated anyone. Miss Chin stood up immediately. Lin Xing, you can't do this. They're your classmates. Teacher Chun, I can't control this either. My throat was dry. Bai Nian stepped in and shut everyone down. Is there any point in arguing? These are the system's rules. We can't fight them. The most important thing is survival. She looked at me. Lin Xing, step aside. We need to talk among ourselves. Yes. Go away. The girls agreed instantly. I was happy to leave. I backed away and found a small thatched hut that had appeared out of nowhere. The system told me it was our level 1 main city, basic shelter for 50 people. There was also an unlit fire pit made of stones and dry branches. Then I noticed the stranger, the woman in black who hadn't said a word this whole time. She was leaning against a rock, watching everything with a cold expression, like none of this concerned her. I walked over. Hi, I'm Lin Xing. I'm the leader of this tribe. She looked up. Beautiful face, ice-cold eyes. Said nothing. I tried again. You're not from our school, right? What's your name? After a few seconds, she answered in a flat voice. Lin Bing. Ship nurse, a nurse. That was incredibly valuable out here. Injuries and sickness could happen anytime. Before I could ask more, Bai Nian called me back. The girls had finished talking. They stood together, faces red but determined. Bai Nian spoke for all of them. We've talked it over. Some of us have read stories like this. One man, multiple partners. It's hard to believe, but we understand the concept. I was surprised. They were more open-minded than I expected. But, she said sharply, we're real people, not characters. We have feelings. Some girls here have boyfriends. Some are traditional. You don't get to abuse your power. If you ever try to take advantage of us, we'll fight back, one girl shouted. I won't. I promise, I said quickly. Bai Nian nodded. We also know the SSS level ability matters for survival. So here's our decision. Free choice. Any girl willing to be your partner can step forward. Anyone who's not, you never force them. You treat us all as equals and lead us to survive. Can you do that? I looked at them, some with their heads down, some blushing, some watching me carefully. This was already the biggest compromise they could make. I agree, I said seriously. Relief spread through the group. Bai Nian turned to the girls. So, who's willing to step forward? Nobody moved. I started questioning my own attractiveness. I was at least an 8 out of 10. Was nobody interested at all? Then Bai Nian herself stepped forward first. Her face turned completely red, the blush going all the way down her neck. The second was Chu Yufei, my ex-girlfriend, one of the school beauties. The third was our class representative, Yi Shiner, a quiet girl with glasses and twin ponytails. I stared at the 3 girls in shock. Thanks to my aura, I could see how they felt about me. Bai Nian at 90 points, Chu Yufei at 80, and Yi Shiner at 70. Bai Nian's face was glowing red. She was usually so bold and carefree, so seeing her shy like this caught me off guard. All this time I'd treated her like a buddy, and she'd secretly liked me the whole time. Chu Yufei, the girl who dumped me, was now stepping forward again. I didn't want to think about her reasons. I looked at Yi Shiner instead. Small, gentle, big glasses, twin ponytails. I remembered how she always glanced at me in class and never reported me when I forgot my homework. She'd liked me for a long time. Bai Nian elbowed me. 3 beautiful girls are offering to be with you, and you're just standing there? But you have to pick who goes first. Otherwise we draw lots. I looked at Bai Nian more carefully and realized how pretty she actually was. Her bright eyes, her confident energy. How had I never noticed? Yi Shiner had clearly used all her courage to step forward. If I didn't pick her, she'd probably cry. But if I skipped Bai Nian, she wouldn't be happy either. You 2 draw lots, I said. Then I looked at Chu Yufei, and my expression went cold. Forget it, Chu Yufei. Only these 2. A tear ran down her cheek. She turned and walked back into the crowd without a word. With that settled, I started thinking about survival. I'd watched survival shows before, but this was real. And I had over 30 girls with 0 survival skills depending on me. I checked my profession panel. Blood warrior. Every time I defeated a creature, my strength would grow. No limit. And I started with a hunting knife. I grinned. This was incredible. What are your professions? I called out to the girls. They checked their panels, and the reactions were immediate. Lumberjack? You want me to chop trees? I'm a healer. I'm a miner. No way. I'm a hunter. I sorted through the noise and mapped everything out. 10 lumberjacks with axes. 7 miners, 5 farmers. 1 blacksmith, 1 tailor. 4 hunters with knives. 2 chefs with kitchen knives. 3 healers, Ms. Chun, Yi Shiner, and another quiet girl. Su Qingyao was a fortune teller who could predict good or bad luck once a day. Chu Yufei was an archer with a longbow. Gu Xinran was a musician who could boost allies with her flute. Bai Nian was a witch who could make potions. Then I checked the chat channel, and my stomach dropped. Other tribes were already being attacked by wild animals. Someone posted a picture of a wolf tearing through a camp. I turned back to my girls. They were still just college students holding tools. All lumberjacks and miners. I raised my voice. We need wood and stone to upgrade the main city. Trees are in the forest, rocks are on the beach. Start collecting now, nobody argued. They grabbed their tools and went. But 2 girls stayed behind, shoulders shaking, turned away from everyone. Their swimsuits had been lost in the waves. I walked over quietly. Go into the forest and find some big leaves to cover yourselves. I'll figure out proper clothes soon. They turned around, faces burning red, eyes full of embarrassment and gratitude. They nodded quickly. On my panel, their favorability jumped from 20 to 45. After organizing everything, I called out to Su Qingyao. She came over but wouldn't look at me, still embarrassed about the swimsuit incident on the beach. Your profession is fortune teller, right? I said seriously. Use your ability now. Predict what's coming next. All right, I'll try. Su Qingyao pulled out a small crystal ball from her storage space, a tool that came with her profession. She closed her eyes and started chanting softly. Seconds later, the crystal ball filled with swirling red mist. Her face went white. A disaster with blood, she said, voice shaking. I pressed her for details. Where, when, what kind of danger, but her level was too low. Red mist was all she could see. Still, even a vague warning was better than nothing. I told everyone to stay near the shelter and not wander off, then headed outside to check things myself. The camp was actually coming together. 10 lumberjack girls were chopping trees near the shelter, sweating in the heat. 7 miners were breaking rocks with pickaxes. Others were picking red wild fruits from a nearby bush. Bai Nian was leading a group to gather dry grass for bedding. Everything looked calm, but that only made me more nervous. The fortune-telling couldn't be wrong. My eyes landed on the tall, thick bushes where the girls were picking fruit. That was the perfect hiding spot for something dangerous. Chu Yufei and Gu Xinran were both over there. Then the hair on the back of my neck stood up. Through the shaking leaves, I saw a pair of cold, hungry eyes staring straight at them. Get back. Leave the bushes now, I shouted. Too late. A gray shadow burst out, a skinny, starving wolf, lunging straight at Gu Xinran. Everyone screamed. Everyone froze. But my body was already moving. A long blade, about 1.2 meters, appeared in my hand, my profession's weapon. I ran forward, dodged the wolf's first attack by shifting sideways, then twisted my body and slashed hard at its hind leg. The wolf howled and crashed to the ground, one leg wounded. But it only got angrier. Eyes bloodshot, it came at me again, snarling. I kept my distance using the blade's length, blocking its claws, watching for an opening. When it missed a bite and lost its balance for just a second, I stepped in and drove the blade upward into its neck. The wolf shuddered and collapsed. Dead. The whole fight lasted a few seconds. My hands were shaking. My chest was heaving. It was my first kill, and the adrenaline was still burning through me. Then 2 warm bodies crashed into me, one from the front, one from behind. Chu Yufei grabbed my waist from behind. Gu Xinran buried her face into my chest from the front. Both were trembling badly, clinging to me like I was the only safe thing in the world. I froze. Then I looked down at Gu Xinran and noticed the top of her pink swimsuit was gone. A broken strap dangled from a nearby bush. The warmth of 2 girls pressing against me made my whole body stiffen. Gu Xinran was trembling in my arms, still terrified. Chu Yufei's arms were locked around my waist from behind. Then Gu Xinran looked down and realized her top was gone. Her face turned bright red and she scrambled to cover herself. But instead of pulling away, she looked up at me with shining eyes. Lin Qing, thank you for saving me. My heart stirred, but I forced myself to stay calm and gently moved both of them away. Chu Yufei, she was the one who dumped me. I didn't know what to make of her clinging to me now. And Gu Shinran. I'd heard she had a boyfriend from the sports department. I wasn't about to get involved with that. Still, I noticed on my panel that Chu Yufei's affection had jumped to 90, and Gu Shinran's had shot from 30 to 80. It's fine. This is what I should do as tribe leader, I said calmly. Both girls looked a little disappointed when I stepped back. Gu Shinran's friend quickly handed her some big leaves to cover up. I twirled my blade and stored it away, trying to look composed. Around me, I heard whispers. He's totally my hero. Can I change my mind about joining his tribe? Then Bai Nian arrived and rushed over. Are you okay? She checked me up and down, and only relaxed when she saw I wasn't hurt. But then her face turned angry. She spun around and yelled at the other girls. What were you all doing? Is screaming all you can do? Lin Qing was fighting alone. You couldn't even throw a rock to help? If something happened to him, we'd all be finished. Everyone went quiet. Heads dropped in shame. She was right. They'd frozen up completely. I felt warmth in my chest. Bai Nian's words sounded harsh, but she was actually helping me, making everyone understand how important I was without making me look bad. If I'd said those things myself, it would have come off wrong. She was always like that, quietly looking out for me. Bai Nian, that's enough, I said, stepping forward and taking her wrist gently. I'm fine. It's everyone's first time. Being scared is normal. She froze when I held her wrist. We'd always been close, but this was different, in front of everyone. Her face turned red. Who's worried about you? I just thought they were being unreasonable. She tried to pull away but couldn't. I smiled. The tension in the air eased for a moment. Then, a woo, a long wolf howl from deep in the forest. Hungry, wild. Then another, and another. From every direction. 7, 8, maybe more. My blood went cold. I understood immediately. Wolves travel in packs. The one I killed wasn't alone. It was a scout. The real attack was just beginning. Everyone, I shouted. Drop everything. Get back to the shelter. Now, the girls snapped out of it and ran. Everyone squeezed into the hut. Some girls were crying. Lin Qing, what do we do? I pinched my thigh hard to stay calm. I was the only man here, the leader. I couldn't afford to panic. Outside, at least 5 wolves were howling. Hiding wasn't an option. This shelter was just wood and straw with a plank for a door. A few good hits, and the whole thing would collapse. Fighting head-on was suicide too. But then a risky plan came together in my head. Stop crying, I said, and the sobs went quiet. I pulled everyone into a circle and laid it out fast. The wolves are starving. They won't leave. So we trap them. Let one in at a time and take it down together. I gave everyone a job. Bai Nian and 2 others would control the door. The lumberjack girls would use long branches to pin the wolf down. The cooks and miners would throw knives and rocks. Chu Yufei would shoot her bow. Gu Shinran and the musicians would play flutes to boost morale. The 4 hunters would follow me in for the kill. The walls were already creaking. No time to hesitate. 3, 2, 1. Open the door. The door cracked open just enough. A gray wolf with glowing green eyes squeezed through, straight into our trap. Close the door. Bai Nian and the others slammed it shut. Inside, branches stabbed at the wolf from 3 sides. The girls were pale and shaking, but they held on. Throw. Kitchen knives and stones hit the wolf hard. It howled and thrashed. The branches started cracking. Go. I charged with my blade. The 4 hunter girls followed. I drove my knife into the wolf's throat and twisted. It collapsed, twitching. The girls rushed in to finish it off with so much energy I had to stop them. Enough. It's down. We still need the body. Cheers exploded. Girls were laughing and crying at the same time. One said she imagined the wolf was her cheating ex and suddenly wasn't scared anymore. But I stayed sharp. Get ready. The second wolf came in. Same trap. Same result. Third. Fourth. After the 4th wolf dropped, the howling outside stopped. Is it over? Gu Shinran asked quietly. I let out a long breath. It should be. I signaled Bai Nian. She looked at me nervously. Be careful. I pulled the door open and rushed outside. Empty. Just the thick smell of blood in the air. Then I heard a dying wolf cry from the edge of the forest. I looked over. Lin Bing, the woman in black, was standing by a large tree. She'd never come inside the shelter. At her feet lay 2 dead wolves, covered in wounds. In her hands were metal knuckle guards. She'd killed 2 wolves with her bare fists. My mouth twitched. This woman had told me she was a ship nurse. What a lie. As tribe leader, I could see her real profession, mechanic. No combat bonuses at all. She'd taken down 2 adult wolves with pure physical strength alone. "You're impressive," she said, wiping blood from her knuckles. "You don't seem like someone who just graduated high school." Her favorability toward me had gone up to 15. "Not much, but something." I asked her straight. "If we couldn't handle those wolves, would you have just watched?" She was quiet for a moment. Then, in that cold voice, "Those without ability, ending the game early might not be a bad thing." She paused. "Of course, that doesn't include you. You're useful. I'd save you." So that was her personality. Cold-blooded, selfish, completely practical. The other girls' lives meant nothing to her. Her background was definitely not ordinary. But none of that mattered right now. She was part of my tribe, she was incredibly strong, and she had a rare profession. That was enough. Back at the shelter, the air was thick with blood and animal smell. The hunter girls were clumsily skinning the wolves while the cooks guided them. Most of the pelts and fangs were still usable, good for keeping or trading. When I dragged in 2 more wolf bodies, everyone looked surprised. I briefly mentioned Lin Bing, but didn't explain much. I asked Su Qingyao if she remembered a crew member named Lin Bing from her family's ship. She thought hard, but shook her head. Even the ship owner's daughter didn't know her. I let it go. Then I saw red text appear in front of my eyes. I'd hit level 2. 3 creatures defeated, condition met. Now I gotta pick a skill. 3 choices. Bloodburst Slash, a powerful charged attack with bonus damage against bleeding targets, 1 hour cooldown. Bloodthirst Technique, spend 30% of my health for 5 seconds of life drain, but a full 24-hour cooldown. Blood Sense Domain, a passive skill that let me detect all living things within 50 meters and deal 50% more damage to badly wounded targets. I thought it through carefully. Bloodburst Slash was the best fit for now. My blade already caused bleeding, and a strong finishing move could decide any fight. The others were tempting, but I could pick them later. I choose Bloodburst Slash. Heat exploded from my chest and flooded my whole body. My muscles tightened and reshaped. My bones tingled like they were being reforged. My senses sharpened. I clenched my fist, and the air seemed to pop. I was confident I could beat a wolf barehanded now. My panel showed my kill count at 3, a new skill, and beginner blade mastery. To reach level 3, I needed to perfect my blade technique and defeat 10 more creatures, and I'd get another skill choice, plus a weapon upgrade. When I walked back inside, the girls had finished processing the wolves. 5 good pelts and a pile of meat. Enough food for over 30 people for a while. Su Qingyao's fortune-telling class had also leveled up from successfully predicting the wolf attack. Her daily readings could now show more specific details. "Wow, Lin Xin, your muscles." Gu Xinran's eyes went wide. Since I was only wearing beach shorts, the changes were obvious. She walked right up and started patting my arms and shoulders, laughing. I shivered and slapped her hand away. "Don't you have a boyfriend? Watch yourself." Before I could finish, another pair of hands reached out. "Leader, I don't have a boyfriend. Let me feel." Wow, this is more real than game muscles. That was Yulu, an art student with purple hair who loved anime and cosplay. Then it became a chain reaction. All the girls noticed the changes and crowded around me, poking and touching. I felt like a trapped animal. "Move aside. You're all being ridiculous," Bai Nian shouted, trying to push through, but she couldn't get close. "Oh, come on, class monitor. He belongs to all of us now. You'll get your turn later," someone teased. Bai Nian's face went red with anger. Eventually they backed off, laughing. Then little Yishiner stepped forward shyly, hand raised but too nervous to actually touch me. Something about her hesitation made me feel playful. I scooped her up in my arms. She gasped, ponytail swinging, feet off the ground. "You all teased me first. Now it's my turn," I grinned. But I didn't even get a turn yet. She whispered, face burning red. Behind us, I could hear Bai Nian cracking her knuckles. After the fun died down, I opened the trading market to solve our biggest problem, food. We had wolf meat, but no fire. Most items on the market were junk, but I eventually found someone willing to trade a fire starter for 3 pounds of wolf meat. I gave the fire starter to Bai Nian, then kept searching. I found 2 clean white t-shirts in exchange for more meat. No pants available, but a big t-shirt could work as a dress for the girls, way better than swimsuits or leaves. I called over the 2 girls who had lost their swimsuits earlier. Tang Yuqing, Yang Na, Come here for a moment. Tang Yuqing and Yang Na came over, still wearing their leaf coverings, scratched up from the fight. I handed them the 2 t-shirts. I traded for these. They're men's sizes, so they'll be big, but better than leaves. Tang Yuqing's eyes went red. Thank you. Thank you, Lin Qing. She grabbed the shirt and ran inside to change. Yang Na stayed. She stared at me for a moment, then suddenly stepped forward and hugged me. Her soft body pressed against my chest. Then I felt something warm on my cheek. A quick, gentle kiss. Lin Qing, thank you, she said, face burning, and ran off with the shirt. I stood there frozen, touching my cheek. It was still warm. The girls around us exploded with teasing. She kissed him. I want to hug the leader too. Leader, your face is red. Bai Nian stomped her foot and glared at me, but couldn't say anything. I slowly exhaled and let my thoughts settle. Back in the real world, I'd be worrying about college, jobs, mortgages. Girls like Su Qingyao and Gu Xinran would never look twice at someone like me. But here, I could become someone people depended on, someone they admired. That feeling wasn't bad at all. I pulled myself back to the present. No time for daydreaming. I needed to get stronger. My eyes landed on Lin Bing, sitting quietly in a corner, sharpening branches with a dagger. Her profession was mechanic, but the dagger and brass knuckles were her own, things she'd brought with her. Was she actually an assassin? But that wasn't why I went to her. To reach level 3, I needed to master my blade technique. And she was the perfect teacher. I crouched down in front of her. Lin Bing, I want you to teach me how to use a blade. She paused, looked at me calmly, and after a few seconds said, I can teach you. But my training is tough. If you quit halfway, don't ever ask again. No problem. Give me your blade. The moment my Miao Dao touched her hand, her whole presence changed. She went from a block of ice to a sharpened weapon radiating cold energy. Without even standing up, she twirled the blade and it hummed like it was alive. I thought I was strong after leveling up. Watching her, I realized my skills were child's play. I watched you fight the wolves, she said. You have many problems. She stood up and listed them one by one. My force came only from my arms. No waist, no legs, no whole body coordination. My footwork was messy, only moving straight. My attacks had no plan, just random slashing. She drew a wolf shape on the ground with the blade tip. A wolf's weak points are the eyes, throat, and belly. Then she moved. Her body dropped low, one quick step, and the blade became a silver flash, stabbing perfectly into the wolf outline's throat. Fast, precise, deadly. Every movement flowed together like water. The girls around us stood frozen with their mouths open. My scalp tingled. If that blade had been aimed at me, I couldn't have dodged it. She handed the sword back. Your basics are too weak. Start with the most basic practice. 1,000 straight downward strikes. Today, if you can't finish, don't come to me again. I took the blade. It felt heavier than ever. I walked to an open space, gripped the handle with both hands, and started swinging. Huff. One strike. Another strike. Sweat dripped from my forehead into the dirt. The Miao Dao felt impossibly heavy. Every swing tore at my arm muscles. I was nowhere near 1,000 yet. Lin Bing was brutal. She didn't just want the number. She demanded perfect posture and force every single time. Use your hips and legs. Are you chopping wood with just your arms? Too slow. You need explosive power. She was like a drill instructor. But after 300 swings, I could feel the difference. I wasn't just swinging wildly anymore. I was learning to focus all my power into the blade. Then the smell of grilled meat hit me. Chief, come eat barbecue, Yishiner called. The fire was lit. The girls were roasting wolf meat on sticks over the flames, fat sizzling as it dripped. My stomach growled loudly. Bai Nian handed me a skewer. Try this. Ms. Chen said wolf meat can be tough, so we cooked it longer. I took a bite. A little rough, a bit gamey, but when you're starving, it's the best meal in the world. Gu Xinran came over with a bright red fruit. Chief, try this. It's really sweet. I already ate a bunch, and I'm totally fine. She stopped mid-sentence, grabbed her stomach, and sprinted into the woods. Everyone burst out laughing. When she came back looking exhausted, Yu Lu, the purple-haired anime girl, teased her about toilet paper. Gu Xinran puffed up proudly. I used the biggest, softest leaves, then lunged at Yu Lu, and the two of them started wrestling and laughing. I shook my head. These girls had endless energy. After the meal, Ms. Chun raised an important point. We need a clean water source. Trading for water isn't a long-term plan. She pointed west. Based on the vegetation, there should be a stream 2 or 3 kilometers that way. Bai Nian volunteered immediately. Several girls joined her. I stood up to go too, but a cold voice stopped me. Your task is to practice your sword. Lin Bing had appeared beside me silently. I'll go with them. I'm better at handling jungle surprises than you. I couldn't argue. Please take care of it, I said. She nodded and led the group into the forest. I grabbed my blade and went back to swinging. 400, 500, 999, 1,000. My arms went completely numb. I collapsed to the ground, gasping. A message appeared. My swordsmanship had improved from beginner to proficient. Faster attacks, better accuracy, more control. I picked up the blade again. It felt completely different now, like an extension of my arm, alive and connected to me. I swung casually, and the blade cut through the air with a sharp whoosh, way faster than before. We found water. Bai Nian's group came back, carrying leaf and vine buckets filled with clear stream water. Having a steady water source made everything feel more secure. Then a scream tore through the air from the logging area. My heart dropped. I grabbed my knife and ran. What I saw made my blood boil. Tang Yuqing, the girl I'd just given a t-shirt to, had a red slap mark across her face and blood at the corner of her mouth. She was crying, holding her cheek. 2 strange men stood in front of her. One was big and dark-skinned, looking mean. The other was thinner, holding a wooden stick. A lumberjack girl explained through tears. They'd appeared demanding food, tried to trade worthless fruit for our wood, and when Tang Yuqing refused, the big one slapped her and tried to grab her. The men saw me and sneered. One pointed his stick at me and the girls. Kid, Brother Hao wants those logs and your food. Be smart and hand it over. His buddy's eyes crawled over the girls' bodies. How good, stop wasting time. Break his legs, take the girls. Today's our lucky day. The girls looked terrified. My 4 hunter girls stood behind me, trembling with anger, gripping their knives. My expression stayed calm. These 2 had to die. Otherwise, there'd be no end to this. I turned to my hunters quietly. Watch and learn. Then I rolled my wrists, ignoring their threats. I wanted to test my new skills. You're asking for it. Brother Hao roared and swung his thick stick at my head. I stepped forward, tilted my body just slightly. The stick whooshed past my nose. Before he could recover, my blade flashed, and his stick was sliced clean in half, like cutting tofu. His partner grabbed a rusty machete and swung at my waist. Without even looking, I flicked my blade backward. Metal rang against metal. The force knocked his machete spinning out of his hands. 2 men disarmed in 2 seconds. The arrogance drained from their faces. Now there was only fear. Don't come closer. Our tribe has over 40 men. They won't let you. I didn't listen. I closed the distance like a ghost. My blade found his throat. Blood burst out. He fell, eyes wide open. His partner screamed and ran for the forest. I was about to chase him when I heard a sharp whistle behind me. An arrow flew past and hit the runner perfectly in the back of the neck. He collapsed face first and didn't move. I turned. Behind a tree, Chu Yufei stood with a pale face, her longbow slipping from her fingers. She stared at the body, then turned and vomited against the tree trunk. I walked over and patted her shaking back. After a while, she looked up with tears. I killed someone. Lin Qing. You did well, I said, handing her a leaf. People like that don't deserve mercy. The other girls gathered around to comfort her. Gu Xinran was furious. These scum, just kill them. We're in the wilderness now, not playing house. Being a saint will only get you killed. No saintly behavior, the others agreed. I felt relieved. These girls were adapting to this cruel world faster than I expected. But this was also a warning. Other tribes were out there, and not all of them were friendly. Today it was 2 thugs. Next time it could be a whole team. A tribe of 30-plus girls, and one guy looked like an easy target. I had to strengthen everyone fast and build real defenses. I looked at the darkening sky. Starting tonight, we take turns on guard duty. No one sleeps unprotected. At night, the campfire burned warm and bright. After a full day of work, we'd gathered all the materials needed to upgrade. 100 wood, 100 stone, 50 grass. I opened the tribe panel and confirmed the upgrade. White light wrapped around the shelter, and in 10 seconds, our flimsy grass hut transformed into a solid wooden house with thick log walls, a proper roof, and a real door with hinges. The girls cheered. I was starving after sword practice all day. Bai Nian handed me a whole roasted wolf leg, at least 10 jin. I finished it all while the girls watched in amazement. Gu Xinran, full of energy as always, pulled some art students to dance barefoot by the fire. Yulu played music. For a moment, it felt like a campfire party instead of survival. But the temperature dropped fast. Everyone hurried inside. Bai Nian had laid thick straw mats on the floor. The girls collapsed onto them, exhausted. Yulu pounced on Gu Xinran for warmth, and the two started wrestling and laughing again. I cleared my throat and got serious. Starting tonight, we take shifts on guard duty. I called out the first 4 names and handed them wolf pelts to stay warm. Yang Na brushed her fingers across my palm and winked as she took hers. After the guards left, I laid down in the corner. The air smelled of grass and girls' shampoo. Over 30 people on one mat. It was crowded. I opened the world chat to pass the time. People were trading, panicking, recruiting. One tribe of art college girls was openly offering to pair up with any strong man who could protect them. Beauty really was a resource everywhere. Then I saw a message from someone called Yamamoto Yu, bragging about hunting a boar and declaring his people would conquer everyone else. I frowned. Even here, those types never changed. More enemies to watch for. Meanwhile, Bai Nian and Yishiner had been whispering nearby, deciding who would be with me first tonight. Eventually, Yishiner walked away looking upset, and Bai Nian came toward me, face glowing red in the firelight. I pretended to be asleep. She stood behind me for a long time, then finally lay down beside me. The moment she did, I rolled over and pinned her gently beneath me before she could react. "Have you liked me for a long time?" I whispered. Her eyes went wide, panicked, shy, nervous, and she turned her face away, heart pounding so hard I could feel it. Far away, in another tribe, a man named Lei Kuan learned that his brother Hao, the thug, her eyes went wide, panicked, shy, nervous, and she turned her face away, heart pounding. "The men get fed to wolves," he growled. "The women become captives." Even deeper in the forest, something worse lurked. A tribe of gray-green, fanged creatures danced around green flames, roasting human-shaped figures. Their chief, sitting on a throne of beast bones, gave the order: capture all the lost 2-legged sheep. Leave no one behind. A great cold winter was coming, and they needed food. The next morning, sunlight crept through the cracks of the wooden house. I opened my eyes. Bai Nian was sleeping in my arms, face flushed, a small smile on her lips. She looked completely at peace. From today on, she was mine. I carefully pulled my arm free and stood up quietly. The other girls were still asleep in messy piles across the straw. Then a notification rang in my mind, and a blue screen appeared. "Congratulations on successfully marrying your first wife. Random daily reward lottery unlocked. Golden Legend tier." I stared at the golden words glowing in my mind. Golden Legend, the highest reward tier. The quality was linked directly to my wife's caliber, and Bai Nian was one of the top 3 school beauties. My mind started racing about the future possibilities, but I told myself to calm down. Step by step, the lucky draw machine gave 1 free pull per day. Reward chances: 70% white common, 20% green rare, 8.9% blue elite, 1% purple epic, 0.1% gold legend. Every single day, like a never-ending treasure machine. Bai Nian was truly my lucky star. I looked at her sleeping peacefully, kissed her forehead gently, covered her with grass, and quietly stepped outside. The cold morning air hit my face. Gu Xinran and Yulu were on night watch by a small fire, yawning. When they saw me, their eyes lit up. "Chief, good morning." Gu Xinran stretched dramatically, showing off her curves, then leaned close with a sly look. "How was last night's fight?" Before I could respond, Yulu rushed over squealing. "Chief, is the class monitor really that big?" I secretly touched her before. "At least a D cup. How does it feel?" A chill ran down my spine. Who said girls were innocent? When they got going, they were worse than guys. "Stop talking nonsense," I said, trying to look serious. They just laughed harder. "The chief is shy." We guessed right. I ignored them and decided to set up the lucky draw machine inside the cabin. A golden flash, and suddenly a dark gold slot machine appeared in the center of the room, half a person tall, covered in mysterious patterns, with a lever on the side. The sleeping girls woke up one by one, staring at it. "It's a lucky draw machine," I explained. 1 free pull per day? You can get all kinds of things. The word, lucky draw, set everyone off. Let me try. No, me. Yulu grabbed my arm and shook it wildly. Chief, remember? I got 3 gold characters and 10 pulls playing Genshin. My luck is certified. I did remember. She'd shown off her phone to the entire class for weeks. Meanwhile, I always hit the pity guarantee. But luck was luck. All right, go ahead, I said. She cheered, walked to the machine, bowed 3 times while mumbling prayers, then grabbed the lever with both hands. Give me gold. The gears clicked. The screen lit up with flashing lights. White, green, blue. Then the light changed. A blinding purple glow shot up and filled the entire cabin. Purple. Epic level, the girls screamed. The light faded. In the prize slot sat a strange metal cylinder with pipes and a small switch. Rainwater purifier. Epic quality. It automatically collects and purifies rainwater into clean drinking water. 500 liters per day, no energy needed. The cabin went silent for 1 second, then erupted into the loudest cheering yet. The rainwater purifier was exactly what we needed. The stream we found yesterday was full of mud and bacteria. Even after boiling, 4 or 5 girls got diarrhea, and some were getting dehydrated. Now we could pour any water into the purifier and get clean drinking water. Problem solved. The girls crowded around the machine, all smiles. Then Bai Nian woke up in the corner. She sat up, straw falling from her hair, white shoulders showing. When she saw me, her face turned red like a shrimp, and she grabbed a wolf fur to cover herself, not daring to look at me. Of course, Gu Shinran and Yulu pounced immediately. Our class monitor is awake. You worked hard last night. Yuli's eyes went straight to Bai Nian's stomach. Let us touch and see if there's a little tribe leader yet. Bai Nian's face exploded red. What are you talking about? Get away. She grabbed handfuls of grass and threw them at the 2 girls, who screamed and ran, laughing. I smiled. Then a cold, clear voice cut through the noise. Clan leader, Su Qingyao stood at the door in her white swimsuit, holding her crystal ball. I have today's fortune-telling result, she said. From the creek where we got water yesterday, within 1 hour, there will be a special opportunity, a treasure or important information. But it has a time limit. If we're late, someone else will take it. My heart tightened. I thought about the thugs from yesterday and that Yamamoto guy on the world chat.